Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad you could be here. Glad I could be here. Glad that we're both here, all of us, in one place, enjoying the beautiful springtime weather, and just enjoying surviving the pandemic. Trapped in our homes like mice. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Yeah, it's beautiful getting to know each other. Trying our best not to kill our kids or run away from home. We can't run away from home. Might get a ticket. Where are you going? I'm running, sir. I'm fleeing. I'm avoiding being abusive to myself and others. I'm going for a walk. All right, guys, let me go make sure people can hear us on Facebook and on the YouTubes. First, let's go to YouTube. Saw we had at least 5 people on YouTube. That's nice. Hey, YouTube people. Barbara Eastock became a member today. Hello, Barbara Eastock. I hope you hit the bell. You won't even know we're on. Rev Marie, how you doing? Frank Barrow, loud and clear. Diane. That's different. What's up, Tanya A? What'd she say? Tanya A said something mean. What'd she say? Oh, a little spicy. Tanya A. Murray Warren, what's up, Murray? What's up, Brian? Brad Bloom and Nikki. Hello to all the fellow Johnsons out there in the internets. Daniel C. and Nasha. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know it's very, very late. As I'm telling you, man, I need a R&R. But who has time? Where am I go? Nowhere. Be on vacation right here. Might as well do the show, right? What's up, the people on Facebook? Facebook people, how y'all doing? Y'all got me. Hope you Damien, what's up now? Hey, Nicole Sears and Dion and Morgan and Laura and Julie. Whole crew, Dolores, what's up? Rita, John, good to see you, Susan, and Liz, what's happening? What's up, Liz? How you doing? What's up, Rose Wade and Suzanne Black? Suzanne Black up in the house. I don't know, man. Just Robbie Brown. What's up, Robbie? Ginger Liberty and Khadija. Hey, Khadija, I see you up. Sups, Khadija. Khadija like, Tim, I was tired, Tim. I was tired. Doggone Tim Black. Be nice. I am nice. I love you. All right, guys, we got a couple of stories to hit. The phone number's up on the screen already, just so that you know you can call in. I could tell it's not going to be a long show because I'm not feeling long in the tooth tonight. I feel like I just, you go to work sometimes, it's like, let me just be here. Hey, I didn't come here to work. You know what I mean? I got that type of attitude today. I didn't come here to work. I'm here, though. Give my check. I'm here. Punch me in for me. Please punch me in. Go and punch me in, dog. Dog, I'm going to be there, man. Punch me in. Man, I said what if you get a flat? Man, just punch me in, dog. They're going to know it was me, man. They ain't going to know nothing. Man, just punch me in, dog. End up getting put over by the cops, finally get to work. He looking at you. You done got me in trouble. Got me in trouble helping you out. They know I punched you in. Boss won't see. I don't know why he punched me in, man. I didn't tell him to punch me in. I said I didn't tell him to punch me. I don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking. Breaking the rules like that. Don't break the rules. Never ask that man to do nothing for me. I'm a grown man. I would ask nobody to punch me in. See, that's how politics is. You're like, that's not, that man set that other man up, Johnson. That man set that other man up, Johnson. Mm-hmm. Now you learn it. All right, guys, I got a couple stories I'd like to do tonight. Then we're going to go to phone calls. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right. Let's start with this one. Don't run. I got you. You're going to learn today. This beautiful black woman you see in front of you is deceased because police ain't shit. Young woman's name is Breonna Taylor. She's an EMT worker. She died on March 13th after officers with the Louisville Metro Police Department executed a search warrant at the wrong damn place. Went to the wrong house. Went to the wrong house. Didn't even say they were police when they did it. Had a no-knock warrant. Went to the wrong home. Shot this woman 8 times. Killed her. Now, police at the time said they knocked at the door several times and announced their presence as police who were there with a search warrant. The officers forced their way in through the door and were immediately met by gunfire. That's what they say, Johnson. That's what they say they did, Johnson. I don't know if that's what they did. Lieutenant Ted Eldham, that's the story he told at a March 13th press conference. Taylor's death gained national attention this week after the family hired attorney Benjamin Crump, who's also representing the family of Ahmaud Arbery, the black man in Georgia who died, as you know, February 23rd after they being pursued by Klansmen in spirit, Gregory and Travis McMichael. Crump called Taylor's death a senseless killing. We stand with the family of the young woman in demanding answers from the Louisville Police Department. The attorney called out the police department for not taking responsibility and not providing any answers regarding the facts and circumstances of how this tragedy occurred. Crump joins Aguilar and Lonita Baker in representing the family. Now, here's what the lawsuit suggests. The lawsuit alleges that Taylor and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, were asleep in the bedroom when police in plain clothes and unmarked vehicles arrived at the house around 12:30 a.m. The officers were looking for a suspect who lived in a different part of the city. Lord have mercy. Hello, somebody. I stand with law enforcement. They always right. These blacks need to listen more. They need to listen more. You just need to use your ears and listen more. If I wasn't a God-fearing woman, I'd smack the hell out you. Once again, the officers were looking for a suspect who lived in another part of the city, who was already in police custody. 1 second. Yeah. Whew, okay. The officers were looking for a suspect who lived in a different part of the city and was already in police custody because he was arrested earlier. 3 officers entered the teller's home, without knocking, without announcing themselves as police officer, the suit states. The lawsuit says Taylor and Walker woke up and thought criminals were breaking in. Walker called 911. According to the Courier-Journal, police said he opened the fire and shot an officer. If you're coming in my house at 12:30 in the morning without telling me who you are, you're not an officer. You're doing a home invasion. The defendants then proceeded to spray gunfire into the residence with a total disregard for the value of human life. Shots were blindly fired by the officers all throughout the Breonna home. The suit states that Walker had a license to carry and kept firearms in the home for protection. Taylor, 26, was shot 8 times and died. Walker, 27, was arrested. According to jail records, he was charged with assault and attempted murder on a police officer. The case goes on. It goes on to state that Breonna posed no threat to the officers, did nothing to deserve to die at their hands. She was unarmed. Neither of the two had any criminal history for drugs or violence. No drugs were found in the home. The gunfire from the officers struck objects in the living room, dining room, kitchen, hallway, bathroom, both bedrooms. The officers failed to use any sound, reasonable judgment whatsoever when firing among more than 25 blind shots into multiple homes and causing wrongful death of Breonna. Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, filed the lawsuit in April in Jefferson Circuit Court alleging wrongful death, excessive force, and gross negligence. A spokesperson of the Louisville Metro Police Department said, due to an ongoing internal investigation into the situation, we're unable to comment at this time. Yeah, that's probably best. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher said in a statement Tuesday that he was monitoring the case and talked to the police department's chief to ensure a thorough investigation. As always, my priority is that the truth come out, for justice to follow the path of truth, he said on Twitter. The Breonna Taylor case is under investigation, therefore expansive comments are not appropriate until all the facts are fully known. Mayor Fisher here's what you do. You gather up all the money that your shitty little town has. You put it in the biggest bag you can find. You take that bag to Mrs. Palmer, the mother of Breonna Taylor, and you get on your knees. You apologize. And I want to see real tears coming out of your eyes. And then you give her all that money. Then you go back to your shitty old office and you take out some debt. Yeah, take out some debt. I don't know, couple, make $1 million, $2 million, I don't know. Get out as much as you can get in your little shitty ass town. Take out all the money, borrow all you can. Pawn your shoes if you have to. Here's better. Fire the whole police force, take their salaries, put it in a pit. Then you go get Mr. Walker, who you almost killed and who you wrongfully imprisoned, and you tell him all the money in the pit is his. Then you get in your little shitty car and you drive to hell. I covered this story, and it pains me, man, that there's some people out there, particularly my black women, who think that we don't care about them because we don't cover their stories in the same rate and with the same veracity that we cover stories of black men being slain by cops. I want you to know you're probably right about that. I don't know, man. I just tend to believe that by and large, that people, I know that I think that black women are special, and I think that black women probably don't get the same treatment, but I guess I'm wrong about that. I just think there's always less malice when they kill black women, but I guess I'm wrong about that too. I guess, I don't know. I don't know about this case. Sounds like these are just dumbass cops who went to the wrong place, looked for the wrong people, but Breonna Taylor's dead just the same. I think we need to do a better job of recognizing that racism, bigotry, bad cops, whatever happens, whatever we call it, that black women catch just as much hell as black men, and we need to cover those stories with the same intensity. So I apologize for that. But I want to thank Nina Turner for tweeting out this story, because without her, I might not have noticed it. It's one of those stories that somehow went under the wire due to the coronavirus. And that's a shame. You know, people say, what is going on? What is Trump getting done while the coronavirus is going on? This huge distraction that's taking place. Very few of those people ever stop to think, and myself included, what's happening to black people while these stories are going on? What types of injustice and civil liberties are going on to all my patriots out there? Probably a lot. He got a story right here that the NRA should just eat up. Shouldn't they? They should eat this story up, man. Story of a man and his woman in their house, 12:30 in the morning. No guns, no drugs, and the police come and kill the woman. Then lock the man up. Licensed to carry a firearm. Everything right. Called the police. Didn't know the police was in his house. Yeah, so the cops are saying, no, we announced who we was. If you announced who you were, why did he call the cops, dummy? This is an open shut case, Cleotis. Money is not an equalizer for anything. But in a country as jacked up with so much inequality that we have in this country, it's the second best thing we got. 26 years old, life gone. And they already had in custody the person they're looking for. Who didn't even live there. You can't even say, well, he was there before. No, he wasn't. They got the address wrong, dumbass. Wrong. I don't know why I'm talking to some people. Some people don't care. They do. They don't care. It didn't happen to me, so it didn't happen. I doubt it even happened. It's probably a fake story. Fake news. What's fake is your love for people. Your respect for human life other than your own. All right. Breonna Taylor, I don't have a link to the family. I don't know if they're Benjamin Crump. Go to Benjamin Crump on Twitter. You can find him. Lord. I'm sure Sean King's covering this. Benjamin Crump. All right. So we're all suffering under the stimulus. Well, some of us have not been as stimulated as others. So some of us have been destimulated, unstimulated. Some of us haven't been touched in years. The stimulus package hasn't reached all doorsteps. In fact, we learned last night, I covered it, that most vulnerable people, the most vulnerable amongst us, no stimulus. Yeah, like if you don't have a sound address, no stimulus. So people that are already really hurting, they don't get shit. Get it? All right. How do you, that's a lot of people, Johnson. That's a lot of people. Just because it's not you doesn't mean it's not a lot of people, Johnson. It's a lot of people. What about all the people that were already wondering how they're going to eat? You kind of relate to them now, don't you? But they're. No, they're people. Just like you are people. That you want me to care about you, don't you? You want us to all care about you. Won't you care about other people who are hurting, catching hell before this pandemic? Before COVID. That's what we've been fighting for all this time. That's what we've been talking about all this time. All the people catching hell in this country, struggling, the kids that only eat 1 or 2 meals a day, and 2 of those are at school. We've been talking about this for years. That's what the movement has been about. It has never been just about Bernie Sanders. It's been about these people who are hurting, who have been hurting. What you have experienced for 60 days, they have been experiencing for 5, 6, 7 months or years. Okay? And we see how you're taking it. About to lose your ever-loving mind. Your ribs ain't even touching yet. Gut up. I don't know where my check's coming from. Shut up. Live my whole 20s like that. All right, so Nancy Pelosi, what a piece of work. It's going to be a rough night, man. Don't call up with no stupidness. Pity on your soul if you call up here with some stupidness tonight. I will. Woo! Nancy Pelosi unveiled, the House unveiled a new act. It's called the CARES Act. Here's Nancy Pelosi to bore the hell out of you, and then I will come back to try to put it in a nutshell. She's a horrible speaker, Johnson.
We face the biggest catastrophe in our nation's history. Setting aside how we got here, we must approach this tragedy with the deepest humanity as we go into the future. All of our hearts are broken by the loss of life. The number of 33 million Americans who have filed for unemployment insurance is almost unimaginable. This is a moment when many millions of our fellow Americans are in deep suffering. We must have empathy for our heroes, the healthcare workers, for how exhausted and how stressed they are in doing their jobs. Add to that, they may lose their jobs in this economy. We must also empathize with the pain of families who do not know where their next meals are coming from and how to pay next month's rent. It is imperative that we address the needs of the American people with clarity on how we proceed. That is why today, House Democrats are introducing the HEROES Act, named for our heroes, whose provisions are largely based on the 4 previous bipartisan bills we have passed. The HEROES Act focuses on 3 pillars: opening our economy safely and soon, honoring our heroes, and then putting much-needed money into the pockets of the American people. We can all agree that we must open our economy as quickly as we can, but we must do so based on science and data. The key to opening the door is testing, tracing, treatment, and social distancing. And we must do so in a way that reaches all Americans in a way that addresses the disparities we have seen, so that we can assess the full extent of the coronavirus and defeat it. Overwhelmingly, the scientific community agrees. Americans also agree that we owe our heroes in the fight against the coronavirus an enormous debt of gratitude. Our healthcare, first responders, teachers, transit, food, sanitation, and other essential workers who risk their lives to save lives and who could now lose their jobs. To do that, we must act boldly to support state and local entities to address coronavirus-related outlays and lost revenue due to the coronavirus. We all know that we must put more money in the pockets of the American people. This is not only necessary for their survival, but it is also a stimulus to the economy. Direct payments, unemployment insurance, rental and mortgage help, and food and student loan assistance, among other things, are essential to relieve the fear that many families are facing. The chair of the Federal Reserve Bank has told us to think big because interest rates.
No more. And she's the best they got. Okay, so this is not the CARES Act. This is the HEROES Act. The CARES Act is what they're basing the HEROES Act on. This is a new act, okay? You figured that out, though, didn't you, Johnson? All right, so, okay, we get it. We want to put money in the pockets of people that are hurting the most, but there's something here I was reading. This article is from Politico. Pelosi unveils $3 trillion coronavirus relief plan amid squeeze from the left and the right. Pelosi says we must think big for the people now because if we don't, it will cost more in lives and livelihood later. Not acting is the most expensive course, Pelosi added. We're presenting a plan to do what's necessary to deal with the coronavirus crisis and make sure we can get the country back to work and school safely. Now, this is what's interesting. Representative Pramila Jayapal, Democrat out of Washington State, and Mark Pocan, Democrat out of Wisconsin, leaders of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, are seeking to postpone any vote until next week so that members can fully digest the bill and potentially push for changes. Congressional Progressive Caucus members have been advised to say they're undecided when party leaders conduct a whip check, according to a notice sent out to progressives. So Jayapal and Pocan, they sent a letter to Pelosi and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, who I hope that Michaela Wilkes defeats, on Tuesday, seeking the delay, asking to have a full caucus discussion on the bill and any amendments that may be needed. Okay, so the bill needs to be tighter. It needs to be more passable. It is appearing that maybe, just maybe, they're throwing this bill together so it gets knocked down. You know, playing politics instead of actually trying to help the people as they say they are. Because both Jayapal says, under no circumstances are we ready to vote for this bill this week. If Pelosi and Hoyer lose support from the left, it will jeopardize their chances for passing the legislation, as few, if any, Republicans will vote for it. Both Jayapal and Pocan have objected that one of their caucus's chief priorities, a plan that includes federal funding for small businesses' payrolls, was not included in the House measure. So they want to help small businesses as well, and that's not in there. Jayapal says she was reviewing listen to how many pages this bill is. 1,815 pages. And was not prepared to support the measure yet. I'm reviewing it. Jayapal pushed hard for conclusion of the Paycheck Guarantee Program, but senior Democrats contend they weren't able to turn the proposal into legislation legislative text saying it's too costly and complicated. The Jayapal plan, which is backed by more than 60 House Democrats, has a price tag of more than $650 billion for 6 months. Ways and Means Committee Neal supported an extension of the employee retention tax credit backed by Democratic moderates, which still costs more than $200 billion. Okay. Now, this is what I told some people on, I think it was Twitter, it may have been YouTube. Because we know the stimulus that they're coming up with, the most recent one introduced in the Senate, was going to have $2,000 per adult, if I'm not mistaken, or over person over 16. And someone said, Tim, they got no chance of passing that. And what I'm telling you is that you shoot for the moon and you'll land with the stars. We have to think bigger. You think it's bad now. We got good old boys at the county, the circuit courts, their state buildings, their state capitals. Let them have no food left, okay? Let them not be able to, cut on their air conditioner this summer. Let these people start losing stuff. It's going to be tyranny up in here. You understand what I'm saying? You think black people get pissed off? Wait till white people who don't have to usually have to burn candles or, heat the house with a stove. The stove. Wait until they have to do stuff like that. You're gonna see some violence, Johnson. Watch. Like, this is not a new condition for some of us, but for those of us who are not used to it, you're gonna see some backlash. You're just seeing the beginning of this. These damn fools that live in this damn bubble, who are doing well, who don't know what can't make the bills looks like, who don't know what losing your business look like, who don't know what it means when people are about to get put out their homes. Oh, you know what? They keep talking about it's going to be abusive, more abuse going on in these homes, more children being abused, more spouses being abused. You know what else is going to be abused? Law enforcement. Law enforcement and public officials. That's going to happen too, Johnson, because people are not going to just sit back and wonder where their food's coming from. I'm trying to tell you. So, yeah, bite the bullet and realize you're about to lose control of your sheep. Your sheep are about to eat the rich real talk. They're about to eat the rich with some, caviar on top of that. They're about to eat the rich with some sprinkles. I'm trying to tell you, mark my words, they need to get out in front of this right now before it gets any worse. See, they're selling us on this idea, and this is how it's working. They're selling us on this idea that there's a bunch of pissed off Karens out there mad because they can't go to the hairdresser. That's a small portion of people that are pissed off. You just wait, okay? That's how they keep us divided. You watch what happens. See, I always feel like I'm an outsider. I go into a room, bunch of white people in it. I feel like, hey, well, just don't call the cops. I didn't steal nothing, okay? Hope everything's cool, all right? No problems, all right? How y'all doing? All right. Okay, but see, most of my white brothers and sisters, they feel a little bit differently. They feel like they done died, just like their parents done died, they done went to war. They believe, they think differently. They haven't been treated the same. They're going to be pissed off, and I'm telling you, they're going to do something. You ain't got to worry about the Latino brothers. You ain't got to worry about the Asian brothers. You don't have to worry about the white brothers who got guns and are pissed off. And they ain't going to be mad at me. They'll be mad at politicians. That's what they're going to be mad at. You look, the shot across the bow was Michigan. You saw that? Did you see Michigan? You just laughed. Look at them. Those good old boys out there looking all crazy. If that was us, I bet you, okay. You watch what happened a couple months from now. See, I think Trump knows that. Look, don't just listen. I'm not saying Trump isn't a scoundrel. I'm not saying he's not taking advantage of this. But don't think, do not buy into the complete narratives that people throw out there, okay? All the narratives are bullshit, okay? Recognize that these narratives planted by both sides are never the full story. Okay? Know that. That's because you're discounting crazy. You're discounting desperate. Okay? That's what you're discounting right now. You're discounting crazy, desperate people, pissed off, angry people. You're discounting that. Don't do that. Nancy Pelosi, you're gonna open your refrigerator and Chuck Schumer gonna be in there hiding. You open that big ass refrigerator up to get you a whatever kind of bar, a $1,000 ice cream bar, and it's gonna be like 3 Steny Hoyer and Schumer hiding in your living in your refrigerator because people trying to get them. I'm trying to tell you, it can get bad. Anybody see Road Warrior, Mad Max? It can get bad out here. Okay. Pee all over yourself and nobody gonna care. It's gonna beat you up and take your chandelier and hang you from it. Understand. Y'all think I'm playing? I've been to Virginia, the rural part, where you see a bunch of cows and guys with shotguns, and you be like, you look over there and see a swamp or some marsh and be like, I could end up in that marsh because they call the cops when no cops come. No time soon. They just tell the cops, hey, I don't know where he went. Keep thinking. All right. You need to pass the HEROES Act, all right, or you're going to need a whole lot of heroes. Oh, the government has a lot more guns. They can't be everywhere at once, though, can they, Johnson? Will they be on your block in time? No, they won't, Johnson. Tell Cody and Samantha, that they just lost their house. In them 3 months, they got a grace period. Now all of it's come due. And they don't even have a job to go back to. They're not just going to go outside and sit in their car and think about things. They're not just going to go join a convent, pray it away. They're going to go to their car, get some stuff out the back, and go have a conversation. And the conversation is going to sound like this. Brow! Broom, 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 pop, pop. Keep thinking it's sweet. It ain't sweet. All right. My last story is sort of like a metaphor. It's a metaphor for what I just said. It's ironic. I was on Twitter and someone sent me this in DMs. They said, Tim, please talk about this. Please discuss this. So I will share it with you because maybe you haven't seen it. It is interesting, Johnson. Very interesting. Hold on. Before I show you this, I just want to remind you that, I just want to tell you there's going to be some violence. There's not going to be any blood, but it's going to be some violence. So if you don't want to see that, please don't report my channel. Just look away. Okay? Just look away. You don't have to shut down the brother's channel because you're sensitive. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry.
Yep, that's what happens, Johnson. I like to call that one, is this what you wanted? See, I see the tall guy with all the reach and the long legs. I see him as the American public. Yep, that's the American public. Pissed off because you're messing with him. And the short guy who took his shirt off like he was ready to do some damage, who was swinging first, who was the aggressor, that's the government. Yeah, that's what I think. I think the government wants to take their shirt off and try to beat us all up. And you see what happens. You saw that. I'm just saying, like, I know that, like, if you're just going to nuke the country, fine. But there are places where, you're going to end up like dude getting kicked in the ribs. And the tall guy had reach and good moves, man. He looked like he'd been waiting 5, 6, 15 years to use those moves. Maybe 30, 20 years to use those moves, man. He learned them back in high school. The roundhouse kick. How often do you get to use a round? I learned a roundhouse kick when I was 15 years old. Yeah, man, I learned it then. I have never had an opportunity to roundhouse kick someone. This brother got to use the roundhouse kick. Folks, if you are on the phone right now, if you couldn't see what I just showed you, it was a tall guy beating up a shorter guy, and the shorter guy started it. And the taller guy finished it. 2 white guys fighting in the street, on the sidewalk. And the guy who got beat up, at one point he was like, look, I'm good. I'm good. And the tall guy was like, yeah, but you talked a lot, man. Isn't this what you wanted? And he touched him where he wanted to kick him. He touched him on the side of his ribs. And then he kicked him right in them ribs. I don't feel sorry for him. I think sometimes you get what you ask for. When he was all, come on, man, when he was doing that, yeah, he was fine. Then when he got kicked in the ribs, he was like, come on, man. Yeah. Sound a little different, didn't it? All right. So it's going to be a light night tonight. That's all I got, guys. Let's go to phone calls. 319-527-6212. If you got something you want to share, we'll be here for a while. Phone number is up. And 559, you're live on TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Brother Tim, Brother Eric, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Oh, super fine. No, it's just you get great analysis, great videos. That's why I listen to you, brother, because you don't hear this anywhere else. I mean, you're right, and people take heed. Desperate people do desperate things. In fact, they'd be better off. I mean, one of the things that's kind of funny is that look over what they're doing in England. The English Trump with Boris Johnson.
Yep.
Just across the board said $2,000 a month. You know what? Till this thing's over, $2,000 a month, because there's a basic understanding that when people have money, they spend it. And 80% of our economy is based on what? Consumption. And you can open up all the businesses you want. If nobody has any money, I mean, I use the example of bricks. You can make the best damn bricks in the world. But if nobody wants to buy your bricks, for starters, you ain't selling no bricks. But then if nobody has any money to buy your bricks, you're still not selling anything. And again, long odds that guy would have done that over in England, but he did it. Mm-hmm. What's Trump doing? Oh, that's right. Because you want to know what Trump's doing? He's not only enriching himself, he's enriching his buddies. He's appointing a bunch of incompetent assholes to the courts. That's the other thing he's doing.
Yep.
He's trying to deregulate a lot of it. He is deregulating a lot of things. That's what he's doing, getting rid of the mission standards. I mean, yeah, this guy's. I mean, again, we need to get him the hell out of there because this guy's a maniac. He's unpredictable. And again, I don't even care. Hell, I'll be honest with you guys. At this point, I would vote for Cuomo just to spite his ass. Because the thing is, to me, it's worth getting his ass out because it doesn't matter who we have. Well, it does if it's Trump. Because if you think you're pushing that man to do anything, I got a bridge to sell you, and I got some swampland that is right up your alley. If you think you're going to shame that guy into anything, have you been living under a rock the last 4 years? This guy's just getting warmed up. I mean, have you seen his press conferences? My God, man. But we gotta control what we can control. That's about the only thing we can do. Because when everybody acts a fool, the only thing you can do is, again, control what you can control. Make sure you're healthy. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. The other thing that's kind of funny that nobody talks about, I mean, go look at Greg Palast. You know, not a whole lot of people talk to that guy. If you wanted what this president's doing as lawlessness, fake president, Ralph Nader co-authored that book. But Greg Palast, you know, the other thing they're doing is they're kicking people off the voter rolls. Check your registration, guys. That's how they're going to try to steal it. That's how they're going to try to steal this election. In fact, it goes into what I think you commented on what Michelle Obama said about, oh, yeah, my people. What, you know, I guess it's okay to say some dumb, ignorant, racist-ass shit if it's coming from the first black first lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you freaking kidding me? You know what? I lost all the respect I had for that lady because you know something? Not only is that intellectually dishonest, it's just factually incorrect. People did show up. Stacey Abrams told you they showed up, but they didn't count their votes.
Yep.
And they got kicked off the voter rolls. And you know what? You're 12 times more likely, if you're brown or black, to get a provisional ballot than you are a white guy. Hell, I got kicked off the voter rolls in California. In fact, that's why I registered here in Minnesota where I'm at, because I didn't get the stupid little postcard that they sent out. There it is, right? I went to check it before this last the primaries, and there it is, right? So I mean, yeah, but am I going to blame Bernie? Oh, it's because Bernie's not going hard enough. Shit. You know, come on, Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that he's fighting what he needs to fight, and I get a kick out of him. I mean, I've actually done some preliminary research. The more shit people talk, more shit about that guy than they talk about elections. People getting kicked off the voter rolls.
Yep.
I don't see Greg Palast on any of these other shows. Do you? I mean, a lot of people don't even know that. So again, Wolfpack, check your registration, man. Control what we can control. And if we do that, we're going to be okay. Because again, enough's going to be enough. And we just got to be prepared for enough to be enough. When we decide enough's enough, damn it, shit's going to change. We've already seen that. Look what Bernie did. And the real irony, and I love the show you did, it was either the last night or the night prior. I mean, there's people that will shit on him that can't even hold a candle and do what he did.
Yeah.
At all. And let's just be real. You know, oh yeah, I'd have done. Yeah, you know what? You'd have failed. And let's just call it for what it is. You'd have effed up, because you did. You haven't. You have not done it. Let's see it. Show. You know. Let's just say we're all from the show me state.
Yep.
You got to show me, partner.
Show me, bro.
But hey, just stay safe. You know, everybody, stay safe. Make sure you're eating good. You're getting enough sleep. Because hey, they're opening up stuff. But as long as we do that, it doesn't matter what they do, because we'll be ready for it. Damn it. And you know what? That's at the end of the day, we all got to be out for each other. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody else going to be out for us.
Very true, Eric. Brother Eric, I appreciate it, man. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you got it. Take care, man.
You got it, brother. Yeah, Greg Palast, man. Brother Eric, man, I've had Greg Palast on a couple of times. I did a panel with him back in 2016. It was Lee Camp, Michelle Beaulier, and myself. And, of course, Greg Palast. And it was about election integrity. And yeah, so yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and we're talking about cross-check and that scumbag. What's that guy's name? He tried to run for Congress. He failed. What's that guy? I forget the guy's name, but that program cross-check, which automatically looks for duplicates and makes duplicates of anybody with common names, and just tries to kick everybody off the voting rolls. So you're absolutely right, man. I tell you, man, too many of us are brought into to like talking points from the right. So we're cognizant of the fake ones on the left, but then we buy into the right wing ones because they're different. We have to start respecting and truly and believing and embracing that both sides, both parties suck, Johnson. You must embrace that because that is reality. Okay? So, I know it's bad, but you gotta accept it. 615, you're live. TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. This is Christopher from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, Chris. What's on your mind, Christopher?
I want to make this quickly because I know you're tired and you've been working hard. So I just have like one good question, maybe two. Where is the Congressional Black Caucus at? Like, there's been 4 bills passed, and they have not stood up and protested, you flexed their muscles, or anything. They've just kind of just sat there and just agree with everything Nancy Pelosi says. And then it's like their reward for being quiet and not fighting is if they get assigned to some task force or lead a bull BS. What's the thing that we know Joe
Yeah.
from South Carolina?
Yeah. Lewis.
So
Clyburn.
yeah,
Jim Clyburn.
Clyburn. Yeah. So it's just like, where have they been? Because this has been the time for them to stand up and say, you know what? Hold on. We keep getting told we'll get it next time. We'll get it next time. This was the time for them to stand up and say, you know what? No, we're tired of waiting. It's time for us to go ahead, for you to finally give us at least part of what you owe us. And then the other fact is that African-American small businesses are suffering like twice as bad. But the Congressional Black Caucus has not even fought to make sure that they get the money and the coverage that they need. So my question to you is, where are they? What are they doing? And I just feel like that we in the black community, we're so up on representation, but we don't look at them not representing us. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does make sense. Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, just keep doing what you're doing, man, and have a good night and stay safe. Okay.
You too, Christopher, man. Thanks for the phone call, brother. I agree with you, man. I think by and large people do. They do understand that the Congressional Black Caucus is ineffective in a lot of ways, and I think they recognize it. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't vote. Like, the whole system's screwed up. It's all a bunch of crooks and criminals. I mean, that's what I thought before I started caring about politics. I thought that. I mean, you can't tell me anything, man. I'm working downtown at the. I worked at a couple of government agencies. I was a contractor on a couple of agencies, and if it wasn't just about the senators or Congress people, anybody a part of the upper echelon taking women to hotels or eating expensive lunches, they were about getting their pockets fat. And that's pretty much how we look at politics, like, and then status symbols. So that's pretty much it. So I think the average person They don't expect anything of the Congressional Black Caucus, just like they don't expect anything out of the, I don't know, Federal Judiciary Committee or these other commissions that they put up, these other organizations. Thinking anything. They don't think anything of these people. I think there's no trust at all. And yeah, but you're right. There should be, and people should be held accountable. But no, they rather just blame one person. We got an entire caucus full of multiple people not doing what they're supposed to do. But you look at one person and go, let's blame it all on this guy. I'm not going back over that terrain again. It just sounds asinine. And then the fact that people buy into the lamest, like, scapegoating. I can't claim them, man. I'm just Tim Black, man. I'm not with those people. I'm not with them at all. But thank you, Christopher, for the phone call, Christopher. Let's find this 561 number. How you doing, 561? You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Join the Corps, go to war, work 60 hours just to still be poor. Ain't got much choice, no.
Who is this? 561, who's this?
Oh, am I on? Shit.
Yeah, that's you, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I don't know how long you were listening to me. Geez.
All right.
Even got my face all red now. I guess I'm gonna do my thing anyway.
Hey.
Thank you for having me as always. That first story tonight, it really, really hit hard. I had not heard that story, and it's infuriating. And it's infuriating every time something like this happens. And I do a little songwriting, and I was hoping I could play a song. And I hope I don't offend anyone. I am a black male, so I hope my language doesn't offend anyone. This is what came out, and this is, how it felt. And it's down here in West Palm Beach. Corey Jones was a big thing, so it's just kind of part of it. So I'm gonna let it rip. What is this thing called the American way? Is it rising prices for shrinking pay? Buried my grandpa in the cold red clay. How long do I wait on this American way? What is this thing called the American way? Is it killing niggers on the interstate? How long?
I'm going to need you to send us a picture of you playing that song. A video. Just take out your phone. Shoot a video. You sound really white. I need proof of black. I need proof of black because you just... I can't do it, Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? You feel me, brother? You feel me? All right. Go ahead and send that to Tim at TimBlackTV.com. Do that. Four 478 left. Okay, 478 left. All right. 252. You're live. How you doing, 252?
Hey, Tim. I'm sorry. Oh, man. I was thinking to myself, he sounded like a white guy. So I was just like, what the hell? I'm not even mad at you. I'm sorry, y'all. But I called to talk about a few things. I'm sorry, Kim, but that shit had me. Woof. Um, but I called to talk about, one of your callers that called in earlier tonight. He had spoke about, the bill that came out, and I was just trying to understand why they're passing more and more one-time stimulus payments and not thinking about how this virus is going to affect us until a vaccine comes out for up to 2 years, they're saying. Why do you keep giving one-time payments and this little pissy ass $1,200? Like, what the hell? I don't get it. I don't understand how you think that that's going to be sufficient to stimulate the economy enough. The job numbers done came out. We are currently operating at between 50 and 60% of the normal workforce. That's not going to be able to hold down the economy. And then on top of that, you got all of these corporations price gouging us.
Yep.
Oil and stuff is down, but you got groceries at an all-time high. The toilet paper crisis raised the toilet tissue price for so much, like double the price. And I want to see a bill that's going to come out and hold some of these people accountable, because in the worst times that the American people have dealt with over the course of the last, 8 or 9 decades, this is what you're doing. This is what you're allowing people to do. It don't make no sense. I don't get how you think that you're being a good guy. Who are you trying to keep? That's bothering me. At the end of the
Y'all saw that, right?
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
that we need to do a united strike across the states, I will park this truck and be right there with y'all. I just need to know where to go, because I'm tired of this shit. I mean, it's just getting to a point where, the fight for Medicare for all, it needs to happen, and it needs to happen now, because they doing every which a slide to the left, slide to the right to make sure it does not happen, and it's not benefiting us. You got the hospitals opening back up for elective surgeries, and then the people that are getting exposed to the coronavirus are getting exposed at the hospitals and the clinics. So I don't understand why you would even do that. It makes no sense to open up the states at this point in time. For what I've seen, I drive all across America. And what I have seen more and more as the weeks go on and on, I've seen more and more people coming out. And then you look at the news stories, and you see more and more cases. We got more cases today than when we didn't even know what the coronavirus was and when it first came out. Yep. It's not making sense, the decisions that are being made, and we have to hold these people accountable to the foolish decisions they are making and playing with our lives. I just can't sit by and just keep watching this happen and be no accountability. The next plan that they put out, if it has no accountability, it's not doing anything, because these corporations are running the table. The whole table. And at the end of it, it's going to be a situation where the corporations own even more than what they do right now. Right. We already scratching for crumbs right now. It just makes no sense to me. The logic. These are supposed to be the smartest people in America. This is the smartest shit that you can come up with? I mean, what the hell? I would love to get your, insight on those things. Thank you guys for letting me have my little rant. And y'all have a good night.
You too, Kara. Thank you for calling up, sister. I tell you, man. She's right. The smartest, the most corruptest. They're not the smartest at all, Kara. The idea of them opening up the states like they did was purely an economic decision that they made. They made a calculation that they had if people were desperate enough to get back to their lives, it would help stimulate the economy, keep people back to work, and they wouldn't have to pay employment insurance. And some people would die. So what? A lot of people would die. So what? Won't be them. I think that's by and large the mindset that will make them open up the states like they have. Not only just open up the states, but pressure. Trump was putting pressure on states to reopen. The coverage. Who do you think was funding those protests? The protests where the people were demanding their freedom and to wear a mask was slavery. Those are being paid for by Republican organizations, paid for by Republicans with deep pockets, like Betsy DeVos's family organization. That's who paid for those rallies. Some of those people were flown there, Johnson. Not all those people even lived there, Johnson. So this is the reality. But people buy into what they see. Trump said, yeah. So Kira's right. And it's shameful. It really is shameful what people are falling for and where we're at. So I saw a survey. I think Roseanne DeMoro put this out. I think she's like the United Nurses Union. She said, how many people are going to have to die before Trump says this is an emergency? And she put down 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, or 1 million. Most people said 1 million. That's really the real deal. He might not even do it then. He might not even declare this a national emergency then. He might not even treat this as the real deal. He might not even do it then. He might not even declare this a national emergency then. He might not even treat this like a true national emergency until, I don't know, till 2 million people die, 3, 4, 5 million people die. Then it'll become serious. All right, I'm going to go to the next call. Next call, 304. You're live on TB Tuesdays.
Hey, Tim.
How you doing?
Doing all right, Tim. How are you, my man?
I'm good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, I called in on Freedom Friday, and I just wanted to clarify one thing. I made it sound like it was Kyle's panel at Politicon. That's not how I wanted it to sound. Kyle was the one that I knew on the panel. That was my first exposure to you. So you gained a new fan by that panel. I wasn't trying to frame it as Kyle's panel. Just wanted to get that one out there.
No problem,
brother. My comment here is that I wanted to talk about something I did the other day that really kind of opened my eyes. I consider myself to be a politically informed person. However, with real life, sometimes you can't catch everything. It's impossible. But here in West Virginia, we excuse me one second. Sorry. But here in West Virginia, they have done mail-in ballots for the majority of the population if you request one. And the other day, I got my mail-in ballot from the county clerk, and I was able to sit there at my kitchen table and research every last candidate on the ballot. It was kind of, mind-opening to me. Like I said, I consider myself pretty politically, informed and try to keep up on things, but it's almost impossible, to know everybody who's running for school board and magistrate and Supreme Court and, all the other different, elections that there are, especially locally. And it really opened my eyes to, see how much of a better future you could have possibly of informed voters if you could do something, like mail-in ballots or absentee ballots, I guess they call it, across the nation. Like I said, I was able to research candidates that I would have never known anything about, and probably candidates that affect me significantly more locally than nationally.
True.
But that's my comment I got for you, Tim. Thank you for having me again.
No problem, man. Thank you for the phone call. No problem with the earlier clarification. I appreciate that. Good point. Good point. That's how they've sent our ballots in from Maryland. It's the same thing here. I'm not that far from you, and you're right. It is. It gives maybe mail-in ballots. excuse me. Gives people the opportunity and the time to kind of sit down. But when you just go to the polling place, you kind of just look at names. Unless you know a couple of names, the rest is sort of guesswork. And I'm guilty of that myself. It's just you're there. I may be a little bit more engaged because of what I do, but it's not even. I'm not as thorough as I should be in knowing everyone that's running. So, good point. Yeah, this is what I thought they should do for the remaining of the election season. Rest of the primaries. Hold them by paper. Would New York rather just kick everybody off and just keep Biden up instead of letting people use paper ballots? Well, we want to protect people from the coronavirus. Well, won't you cancel the elections in person and just have everybody mail in their ballots and you can vote for whoever you want from home instead of having people come out to vote down ticket? It makes no sense unless you're truly not concerned about people getting sick. You're more concerned about Joe Biden having more delegates. 213, you're live on Freedom on TB Tuesday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name? What's your comment?
Good.
All right.
I'm sorry?
What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. And my name is Tony, and I'm trying to get my comment because that you know who they called earlier. That's what see how lovely black people are that we can laugh at that bullshit. And he wasn't nothing but an old peck of wood. Remember what we used to call them?
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad you did a story on Breonna. I had found out a few days ago about it. So we look at what in the last, though she was killed back in March, but still, the fact that it takes this long for us to even find out information like that, and like you saying, sisters and brothers are getting killed, like it ain't nothing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You are right. It seems like when it comes to black women, the same outcry isn't there. Though we look how many sisters in the last year been just shot up by police. You know, it's crazy. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my anger. And how to focus,
right.
Because I'm down there 60 years old, and I've been protesting, doing shit in college, all this stuff over and over and over and over, and you get to a point where it's just too much.
Yeah.
So basically, black folks gonna have to understand what we need to do in terms of politically, economically, whatever lead you want to use. To make these people have to be accountable for what they're doing. Because it's just like a dog. Why does a dog lick his balls? Because he can. You know what I'm saying? They do it because they can.
Yeah.
There's nothing how many repercussions are there? And that's where it's going to have to start. There's got to be some repercussions, and people can take that however they want to take it.
That's right.
Because I can't wait for them to get locked up. Because like Jeffrey Dahmer, they need to go on, handle that.
Yep.
Because when he went to jail, he used to taunt the other inmates by putting ketchup on stuff, licking it like it was blood, stuff like that.
I didn't
So
know that.
finally somebody got him. Sure did.
Oh, okay.
I said he probably ate somebody's little cousin.
Right.
Because he lived around the corner from me. I went to Marquette in Milwaukee. He actually lived around the corner from where I live.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? That was a twisted dude, too.
Right.
But that's okay, because like I said, God is still on the throne, honey. And it's just time for us to pick up our efforts and do what we got to do, because people just doing it because they can, and it's got to stop. So that's all I got.
Well,
and
thank you, Tony.
you so much for everything.
Well, thank you for calling
so
up, sister. I appreciate you calling up and keeping it real with them. Yeah, you're right. What do we do politically and morally and financially and all that good stuff? I'll tell you, man, some people are upset. They say, well, you know what? This social media is making it harder for people because they got to see this imagery. Hey, there's worse things than seeing it. How about not seeing it and it still goes on? It just doesn't impact you. So it's important to see it so you're aware of what's happening. Because for years, people would say, that's not happening. I remember Richard Pryor had a joke about it. All those black guys were resisting arrest. Yeah, then you see it, and you're like, what? This is real. You know, it's been a running joke. The police have been overstepping their bounds for 100 years plus in this country, and people don't even know it because it wasn't happening to them really. But people have been abusing authority as long as authority has been in place. So what do we do about it? Well, we had the ability to sue. We had the ability to fight back. We had the ability to arm ourselves. And I think we have to do all of the above. And people that don't understand that are people who don't fear that. So, but yeah, that's what I think about it, Tony. Thank you for calling up, sis. 425. What happened to my 425? That's what always happens. Right? The hell? Now I see Ty's in the comments section, who I keep missing every time he calls up. I saw Ty. Okay, he's not saying he's in the car. He's not in the phone line. Who is this? 478.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Who's this?
How everybody doing? I was watching this Let's Talk Money, the one that you're on the scope.
Okay. It's all good, man. What's on your mind today, bro?
I don't send you. You know, a lot of times, man. I like your show, but sometimes when I catch you, you be in it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But I'm calling from Georgia, man.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm a young brother, man. I'm 26 years old, and I've just been noticing a lot of things too, man. Like, you know, I don't know, like, if there's some young people in here, man, or some older people, I know y'all can give me some great ideas, but I'm like, man, what can we do, like, for the young generation? Because we got kids and stuff, and you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they just don't care about us no more, and every young person ain't bad. You know what I mean? Like, and it just get to the point where this stuff need to stop because, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's something that been going on all our life. You know, I got people in my family that they're like 90 years old, older. And, you know, we've been going through this ever since, you know. And it's like, it's just racist, man, like a lot of racist stuff going on, I feel like. And I feel like it's a lot of judgment on us because they think every young person bad or a gangbanger, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just ridiculous. And they always trying to, you know, like, mess with us. Well, I haven't had a problem, but I'll tell that back. I had a problem a long time ago. Officer was pulling me over for no reason. And I just talked to him like how I'm talking to you, calm. But I'm like, that don't mean every officer's going to let me go like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm sorry for the noise I'm doing that. But I'm like, man, it just stuff getting ridiculous and it really need to change. You know what I mean? So what can you say the best thing to do as a young person like us? Because we getting tired of it, man. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, look, brother, thank you for calling.
We really are. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm trying to think really what to tell you, man, because you're absolutely right, man. That it's dangerous out here. We've been fighting these same fights for so long. What do we do about it? And I tell you, man, I think people have to get active. I think, and when I say active, you got to find organizations and like-minded individuals that have plans that actually in your area that you can get involved in. Like, I think that's what's kind of missing for a lot of people. I believe there are good people out here, right? Who are working in the community, wherever you are, right? You're in Georgia, I didn't ask you what city. But there's got to be people that are local to you that are good people, that are working to make the community better, that are working to stand up for young people, that are working with young people, that are working with older people. It exists. I know it does. They don't get the support or publicity that they should get. But believe me, there are groups out there. One beautiful thing about the internet is that you have access to find these groups. In fact, if you know of any groups, if while you look and you want to, we need to come up with a segment on this show where I shout out organizations that are local, small organizations that people can join, that are trying to do things in their community, that they don't get any publicity. They don't get any awareness. And if they do, it's never enough. So that's what I think you can do locally, right? As far as for young people, if you want to know how to help young people in your community, people need a dream, man. They need something that they can see, that they can do, to believe in themselves, to go after. And there's so much temptation, so much frustration, so much negativity, right? People have to have something that they're striving towards to keep their focus off of the other stuff. That's what I believe. And if you give people something to be focused on that's good for them, that keeps them motivated, that's why people understand. That's why people gravitate to music and art and fashion and all these other things, because it takes their focus off of the death, the cops, the whatever you're dealing with in life that's not positive. So that's why people focus on these things, whether it be sports or music or whatever it is. That's the thing. To keep their minds like not, nobody wants to, people have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from just living in their neighborhood. A lot of people don't understand these are the conditions that people grow up with, that they're dealing with. So while there's some of us upset about the coronavirus, they're upset about stores being shut down, they're upset about, you don't realize there are people with PTSD just from living in their neighborhood that existed well before coronavirus. These are the issues that I've been passionate about, have been championing way before I knew who Bernie Sanders was. But people who don't know anything about me come and act like it's like that there aren't these other layers. So, in fact, Professor Zinkus, who came on my show, his TED Talk, he talked about Tara Reid and the Joe Biden allegations. But he has a TED Talk on what happens to the human brain when you got to deal with a bunch of negativity, and when you're dealing with poverty, bad schools, bad environment, hostile environment, what it does physically to your brain. It's very eye-opening. So anyway, guys, I got to take something for this throat. I love you. Be safe. I think this is a new call. Gosh. Well, I'm going to drink some hot coffee. Hope it's still hot. And I'm going to go to this next caller, because I don't think this caller spoke. I had a couple calls in the queue who haven't spoken. So let me try this 360. 360, what's on your mind?
Tim, are you serious?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Wow, I've never got in this quickly. I just didn't expect to be done already. It's great. Don't get me wrong. Hey, Tim, you know what? I had to watch you on fast forward to catch up to the show. I almost missed the boat tonight, Johnson. I don't even know what damn day it is anymore, you guys. There's just no rhyme or reason to anything anymore, you know? Maybe it's for the better. I always did hate time and all that jazz. But, hey, you know what? I had to watch the first part of the show even though I was late. So, because I had to hear what you said, and I'm glad I watched that video that was posted with that tweaker guy getting his ass handed to him. That was pretty epic. But I'm glad I heard Kira, too. And I'm so glad that you're the type of guy that will call her back. That was so cool. Tim, you called her back when you guys got cut off. You're so cool, man. You're just a good dude. You're a solid dude. And I know that the whole Wolfpack agrees with me on that. So, just Tim for president. Okay? 2024. 2024, I want to see you on that ballot. Let's get a real black man in there. Not a fake black man who does publicity stunts in towns where people don't have water. That's ridiculous. So I am so sorry, Tim, that last week I sat in line, and when you picked up is when my phone finally died. I was not monitoring my battery, and that was my bad. So I didn't prank you. It was just the way that it worked out, man. So, yeah, I've been waiting for today because I wanted to point out a few things. Someone said there was a really ignorant caller, and you were really cool with her. The chat was blowing up. We were pissed. She was saying some questionable things about Tara. She said, oh, we can't have Donald again. What are we going to do? And you asked her, what don't you like about him? You asked her some very intelligent questions, and you got her thinking. And that's the kind of thing that we need people to do, is resist the urge to snap on people like that and help them come to Jesus. Ask them the questions that will let them believe that they came to these opinions on their own. Because really, if it becomes a conversation like what Bernie has been trying to teach us, it doesn't need to be a fight. And we might actually get somewhere that way. So, man, what I wanted to tell that girl, you don't even know the half of it. This dude's dad was in the KKK, man. Washington Post wrote about it. Like, this guy has been doomed to be a bad person, and really, kind of by birth. And he was a failure at business. How many times did he file bankruptcy because he can't handle running a business legitimately? Oh, that's right. 6 times. 6 times between 1999 and 2009. I went ahead and Googled that one for you guys. You probably already knew it, though, so whatever. But, yeah, I mean, that's just 2 things that that maybe, we could have let people know at some point, and maybe should share those little tidbits before people consider voting for someone who was raised by somebody who is inherently racist. Because I couldn't expect much more out of him than more racism. What hatred begets more hatred, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, Kira is right all the time. She's right. You're right about her needing her own channel. We all vote for Kira having a channel, but I don't want her to stop visiting Wolfpack just because she gets a channel. That's my rub. Like, what are we gonna do? I'm not gonna leave you for her. So if she does that, she cannot be at the same time as you. We need to be able to keep our loyalties, okay? And number 2, wouldn't that be awesome, you guys, if she did a truck driving show where she streams from different places and she could show, like, what she's seeing out there and what's really going on in America? We would all watch that.
Yep.
That would be badass.
Absolutely.
Michael Moore would probably help her get it even produced or made into a movie or some shit, Wow. He would. He would. Hey, you know what else about Michael Moore, you guys? The first time I built up the courage to call you here, Tim, was when I brought up that there were 20 million millionaires. And it took me a long time to get past my anxiety to make that call. Wow. And I had to build some real trust with the people in the chat and understand that we were like-minded and that I would not be judged or called some Marxist or whatever the hell people think of socialists. So honestly, just thank you. Thank you for being receptive in the way you are. I mean, even from somebody who doesn't have an ignorant mind. There's some anxiety about doing something like this. It takes some guts to speak out. It does, and maybe we'll inspire other people to get courage, to be brave. But I have to say, the woman that called last week, that spoke on Tara's behalf, and said what she said, I wanted to freak out on her too, but only as a survivor. All of us survivors were screaming from the inside out at that lady. It just broke our heart to hear her even question, as a woman, anything about Tara, because, yeah, do listen to the whole story. She is credible. Yes, we all understand all that. But more than that, Tim, from a standpoint of a survivor, other victims need to be inspired by a survivor's story who has the courage to come out. I don't care how much longer it was after the fucking incident, man. If someone was brave enough to relive their nightmare, to save other people from that future nightmare, you don't say shit about whether it's real or not. Just understand that, yes, people do have PTSD. And you say it all the time, Tim, and you're right. And asking them to face that kind of monster, to relive that kind of a hell after their brain has already done some really good compartmentalization of that shit so that they could survive and maybe be a mom later and stuff, man, what is it, like 1 in 5 women say they've either been touched inappropriately or harassed in some way? Yeah. Jesus God, does any woman have the right to be intolerant of another woman's story when she probably knows how many other women affected? She herself is probably affected. So I don't understand that concept, how that keeps happening. And I maybe need to get some more, some awareness out there for maybe people that aren't thinking in support of victims all the time. But you should think about that before you question another person's story, that's a dagger in the heart of a survivor. It is. It's just a discouragement, and it makes us feel like, well, see, that's why I didn't say anything. You see, that's why I don't say anything, because why? What good will it do? And why should I have to be defamed as a person and, personally attacked and all this shit? Well, from the standpoint of someone who had gone through a name change, that usually happens because you're unsafe. So, there's been so much terrible backlash from other people at her, and she was already a victim. It took her how many years to come out because she couldn't repeat her story until then. And I can identify with that. I couldn't tell mine until I was 30, and I saw my first counselor associated through being in college. So, that being said, I had a little bit of my story out there too. I had my brave moment tonight, and I thank you for that, Tim Black and Wolfpack. Ow, ow! Friggin' love you guys. I do. I love you guys so much. And on that note, prayer and meditation, whatever you guys do, keep doing it. Whatever you need to do to keep all the stress levels down. That's the best thing you can do for your immune system, is resist stress. And I know that sounds really ironic right now, but literally what I know about the nature of the universe is that the darkness, the evil, whatever you guys want to call it, the negativity, it's got to get to a point ahead, just like a volcano, so it can blow the fuck up. And then some new, nice, beautiful shit can grow in its place. Okay, Tim? That's my wisdom for tonight. This system is blowing itself up, and we're in the wake of that destruction, and we're just trying to stay safe and stay sheltered from the volcano and all the crazy ash that's raining down. But soon the smoke will clear, and we'll have a new world with us. And Bernie and the movement and the Wolfpack is a huge part of that. We have a big part to play. We can't afford to get negative and stressed out. We can't afford to get sick. We got to stick around to make a new future and create some kind of makeup plan for the destruction that's happened up till now. Because even if you are heartbroken that it happened, be like me. If you can't afford a car and you've never been able to keep a running car in your life, get out and walk around and pick up some garbage right now. Help the earth in some way if you can't go to work, And honestly, Tim, I think we need to teach kids how to volunteer and be humanitarians more often, before this and after this and during this. Because if we want to stop creating sociopaths, we have to stop breeding selfishness in our kids. We have to stop making them think that other people in need are not their problem. That's not the truth. everybody is everybody's problem. We're all one. All of us are one. We're one entity.
Well, look, thank you so much for the phone call. I appreciate it. And very well said. Very well said, and very important to people to look a little deeper. Look a little bit deeper, guys. Do what the caller says on that. I do want to say something in defense, or I guess just to kind of put a little bit more context to that call last week. I know who that person was who called because I've seen them in my chat before. That person reached out to me and said they were very tired. They don't know what the hell they were talking about. They apologized profusely and said they definitely that's not what they meant. And I told them, well, anytime you want to call back and set the record straight, feel free to do so. So there was a positive impact on that conversation with that person who was sort of holding Tara to certain standards. And remember, I think that caller is pretty young, and that caller had digested information from a Facebook group. And I'm pretty sure, like we talk about all the time, we got these different narratives that are running in different silos where you got this one group over here that support Biden are telling a totally different story about Tara than you'll hear from another group that's supportive of Tara. Or Tara. So these different forms of these different narratives can make people believe, and that's really what happens, right? It's all based on who you listen to. So, but I think we did it. I think I addressed it in a way that sort of opened her eyes and made her realize there were more than one way to look at it. And she was not getting that in that Facebook group that she belonged to. So, there is hope. There is hope. That person's looking at it a different way now, and that's because of the way that we deal with it. So, how we shared that information. We helped somebody, Johnson. 3. I was about to. All right, maybe that's it for me. That's it for me, man. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go to the, I guess I'll go to the comments. Guys. Let's see what people are saying here that I may have missed earlier. Right? Very popular. Wow, man, we got 400 people at this time of night. You guys are troopers, man. Thank you for being here. I know we're super late, but I don't cancel shows unless I have to. Tanya A says, punching you in, Johnson. Thank you, Tanya. Don't get fired, man. On my behalf, John. Punch me in. Michael Laprado, you're a frontline fighter, Tim. Never change. I appreciate you. Thank you, Michael. Sheldon, very sad news. Yes, it was. I know what you're talking about. Breonna. Ty says, I'm from a rural white town. I may sound a certain way, but that doesn't mean I'm any less black. I just sound different than you. When it comes to police brutality, it's color over culture. Dude, man, do you mind people calling in playing the song? If I wrote a political song, an appropriate one, would it be able to play it for you guys over the phone? Yeah. Yes, you can. Hey, Tom, man, you sounded, man, like, dude, the way you said nigger with the ER, brother, you know you sound white, Ty. At least use the A. What is wrong with you? Don't act like a victim, man. I can't have you, dude, I don't know who you are. I haven't met you. It's not about, white people get beat up by cops. White people get shot by cops. I know this. I've covered them. I know they get shot by cops. In fact, probably more white people get shot by cops than black people get shot by cops because there are more white people. Benjamin Jealous, former president of the NAACP, said, Tim, not only does America incarcerate more black people than any other country, they incarcerate more white people than any other country. So don't, I know, you preaching to the choir, dude. I know stats. I know what's going on. But when you call up and you're singing a song and you have the word nigger in it and you use the ER and you sound white, I had to stop you. Bruh, So record your video and send it in. But just change the one word in your song. You only did it. You didn't have to use that word. Why'd you have to use that? It's just because I am that. Well, you don't sound like that. You heard people call up to the show. What they say? Dude, man, do you mind people? No, you did that. Oopsie says, what you say, Oopsie? We put serial numbers on lottery tickets and gift cards, but we can't do it for paper ballots. Hello? I should be able to pull off the strip and know the number and the pin. Log in and see my vote is counted correctly. You should be able to, Oopsie, but they don't want us to be able to. They don't want us to. David says, Sunrise Movement. Hashtag Sunrise Movement. Hashtag People's Action. Hashtag Center for Popular Democracy. Hashtag Dream Defenders. Phil Agnew. Movement for a People's Party. Movement for a People's Party. The Village Idiot. I love you guys. 397 current watchers, but only 209 likes. People watching and they're not liking. Like the show or share the show. Like the show or share the show. Dude Man says, thank you for everything you do, Tim. Thank you. Princess Queen in the house. Princess Queen in the house. Thank you, guys. That's it. That's everybody. That Princess Queen. The Village Idiot. That's my guy, man. You're not an idiot, bro. I tell you that. You know, hello. Really love the Wolfpack. Shout out to all y'all. Thank you, Princess. All right, people. Look, we going to get there together. Watch. Ain't nobody perfect. And ain't nobody cursed. All right? No perfects, no perfection, and no damned. We are people in work in progress. Let's make some more progress together, y'all. Progress for all. I see tomorrow, let's check this out. Tomorrow I'm interviewing Michaela Wilkes, who's running for Congress here locally for me in Maryland. And Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, I'll be on the show with Ida Rodriguez. And I'll tell you more about that Thursday and Friday. Thursday. Yeah. So follow me. That's it, guys. I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Be cool. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Remember, don't argue with people. Sprinkle some facts on them. All right? That's everybody. That's everybody. Peace. To join the Wolfpack, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. $5 a month, that's all it takes. I love you. Be safe.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.